recording. Let me make this full screen over here. And so everyone, welcome to an ASC update we're going to have today. I wanted to have this week because we needed to have it before the events that we're going to talk about take place. And so they're coming up fairly quickly, so I wanted to talk to you about them. If you haven't met me, my name is Kelly Calder. I'm the lead contact of the ASC ITC at Stanley Community College. Michael Bowden should be on here, our ASC support specialist. Constance Bowen, one of our ITC instructors. Brian Crump is here. Sylvia Lewis is also here, and Sylvia does all of our scheduling and for the ITC classes and those items. And I believe Brandon Crump is here. Brandon's here. He's our data center lead. So we got a good part of the Stanley crew here today. We're going to talk about 4 main items, and it is number 1, our yearly event coming up in early March. The CCST exam project, we'll talk very briefly about that. And then we're going to spend most of our time today talking about the upcoming NetAcad and Skills for All downtime and the combined platform and what's going to happen or what's in the process of happening. We're not going to get deep in the weeds because we don't know yet because of the actual future combined platform will not go live until July. But we're just going to talk about something that's coming up that's going to require you to know about it so that you won't get shocked by what happens on February 23rd. All right. So first, at Isothermal Community College, at the Foundation Performing Arts Center, 286 ICC Loop Road in Spindale, North Carolina on March the 5th. Of course, my phone is ringing when I do this. On March the 5th, we will have our yearly ASC meeting. The ASC meeting is where you come in, we talk about different things. I've got the actual, here's basically our agenda. So our meet and greet, welcome introductions. Clint will be there to talk about the academy. Chris and Navarro will be there to talk about some technical updates. We've got a special guest coming in to talk about grants and funding. That'll be Eric Abelis and Level Solution Group has been able to bring in a special group from the Dell Grant Support Program to talk about their programs and how you can apply for grants and how that program can need and help you get grants, which is really neat. Then we'll have lunch, and then in the afternoon, if you have not already obtained your CCST networking and or security, you will have the opportunity to obtain your CCST, Cisco Certified Support Technician. And we'll both have practice tests and we will have testing. So you'll be able to do that. We will talk in a second about how you can get those practice tests before you come if you want to. And then we will also have, for anybody who has had or already has their CCST, we will have a Broadcom Academy update and also an update on some more Skills for All items as we do that afternoon. So I hope you can join us and then come and stay for the NCCIA, which is the next 3 days. We paid for 100 slots at the NCCIA, which is about $8,000. We paid for 100 slots so that you can come to the NCCIA and your registration would be free. You're still responsible for travel. You're still responsible for hotels and per diem, but your $80 registration fee for the conference was covered by, or would be covered by our instructor training center and Academy Sports Center. If there are any slots available. We only bought 100 slots and then gave them out. If they're used, they're used. If you are coming to our ASC ITC event on the 5th of March and you have not already emailed me, now if you've already emailed me, I've got you on the list, don't worry about it. But if you have not emailed me and you are coming, send me a quick email and say, hey, Kelly, I'm coming. That way I can put you on the list to make sure we've got enough food and everything's taken care of. I'm banking for around 70 to 80 people to be there. And so we're in pretty good shape there. But if you are coming and haven't let me know, please contact me and let me know. Are there any questions? You can put those questions in chat. I've got anybody, Brian, Constance, Michael, if y'all look at chat. Oh, sorry.
Please enter the extension that you wish to intercom.
Okay, hold on a second. I got someone who needs to link to the meeting. So hold on 1 second.
I don't see any questions in the chat, and I'm going to ask Nancy real quick if I can get her about numbers.
Hold on 1 second. Let me send this to him. Not sure why didn't get it, but I'll send it to him real quickly. Sorry, everyone. Sorry about that. I didn't know I'd answered the phone. He was sitting there listening to us on the phone. Okay, he'll be there soon. All right. So, ASC event, any questions? Anybody have anything about that they want to talk about? Okay, well, let's move on to the CCST exam project. We spent $4,400 of our ASC funds to buy 500 CCST exam vouchers and practice tests. These exam and practice test vouchers and practice tests are free to your students. We originally said we'd give 5 to every supported academy that we have because we do have 240 plus academies. Not every academy is participating, so we probably got extras if you need more than 5. We want to use these. They're only good till next November. So we've got to use all 500 of them by next November. So we need to get these used as soon as possible. And, I want your students to succeed. I want them to be able to use it. If you're not participating or you don't know anything about the project at all, I'll put Constance's email in here so you can email her and she can send you the link to the video and then we'll get you set up for that. Yeah, I just threw her under the bus. Sorry about that, Constance, but it is what it is. And then I also want to show you something really cool. One of the things we've done as part of this project is we've set up this CCST Hall of Fame. And obviously some of these are my instructors, but it's very neat because we've got students from different community colleges. Now this is totally optional. You do not have to send us pictures of your students if you don't want them on this site. That's perfectly fine. You can have the vouchers without sending us anything, okay? But if you want your students to be on here, we ask that you take a picture of them with either their certificate or with what they just tell me what they've completed. And we will send you a form that you will have for them to fill out to give us permission to put their pictures on the internet. But it's just kind of neat. I would like to see, we have 500 vouchers. I would like to see 300 people on this by the time we get to November of next year. So it's really kind of cool if we can make that happen and get all those pictures on here and get people on it. So that's our CCST Hall of Fame. It is actually under our ASC ITC page. If you just go to ASC and scroll down to the Hall of Fame, you will see the pictures of those who've gotten their CCST. All of you who take it at our yearly meeting, we're going to take a picture of you, and if you sign the form for me, we'll put it up and you'll be on this page. If you don't want to be on the page, then like I said, you don't have to be on the page. It's just an option that we made available because we wanted a way for your students to both show what they've done, and we want a way to just show that we're having an impact on lives, which is kind of cool for us. So we do hope that you will participate in the CCST exam project, and we really do not want these vouchers left over. So get in touch with us. They're both for networking and security. So we got both. We have practice exams for both exams, and the vouchers will work for both exams. There is a very clear process you have to go through because you have to be a proctor underneath our Certiport Academy. But all of that will be explained if you contact Constance, and she will send you the video where we did a video in a meeting about this back in what, November or December was it, Constance? It was November, wasn't it? Yeah, back in November, we had the original meeting for this project. Okay. How many of you right now are participating in the project or have had someone do it? Yeah, we'll go over at our yearly meeting again also if you have not. By the way, the great place to do this is right after they've done CCNA 1 and 2. That is a really good place to do the CCST networking. All right. For cybersecurity, it would be either after they've completed the cybersecurity classes inside of Skills for All, or if they happen to have taken a Security Plus class. Security Plus class would cover anything in that cybersecurity very easily. Okay. All right. Excellent. So now let's was able to get on early. Okay. They're practicing now. Okay, good. And we figure that's what's happening with a lot of people too. They're practicing it right now, Amy, and they're going to plan to use the exams at either the 8-week mark of this semester, or maybe at the end of the semester, one of the two. The big thing is we don't want the vouchers to not be used, because we did spend a good amount of money on them. And I just felt like it's a way for us to give back to you. And honestly, if you get 5 vouchers, you're getting back almost your entire support fee, and you're getting back more than your support fee if you're a high school. If you're a community college, your support fee is $600, and you're getting back right at $600 worth of vouchers if you get your 5 vouchers. So, but again, once the 500 vouchers are gone, they're gone. That's it. We won't have any more. But if it's a very successful program, I'd love to do this continually. I'd love to continue to every year get 500 vouchers and hand them out, because I think that's a neat way for us to give back. Okay. Yep. All right. Now let's talk about the next big item, and this is NetAcad and Skills for All downtime. Phase 1, what they are doing is we are leaving single sign-on. We are no longer going to have the database of NetAcad and Skills for All combined with the Cisco.com database. It is going to be its own database. Does that mean we will be able to change student passwords? I don't know yet. Okay, maybe, maybe not. You know, it used to be way back in the early days, we could change our student passwords. We had control over that. We were able to do it back when NetAcad was not integrated with single sign-on with Cisco.com. They're pulling back from single sign-on to create a single database that will be both NetAcad and Skills for All. I'll do that, David. I'll send the recording when we get done. This means, though, that on Friday, February 23rd from 5 p.m. to Saturday, February 24th at 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Okay, so for us, it'd be 8 to 8. Okay, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. for us on the East Coast. All right. The sites will be down, both of them. Okay. NetAcad.com and Skills for All will be completely down. Now, if you use UTC time, it's 1 to 1300 UTC on Saturday, February 24th. That's just, they wanted to put it in UTC too. Okay. But before February 23rd, now this is why I had this meeting today, and it's very important we talk about this. There are some actions you've got to do before February 22nd, really by February 22nd, before this downtime on the 23rd. Okay. If you have just a Skills for All account, you don't have to do anything. In fact, no action is needed if you're any of the top 3. If you have a Skills for All account only, everything you've done will just move right over to the new database. No problem. Okay. If you have a netacad.com account only, everything in your course histories will be retained and they will move over. All right. If you have a skillsforall.com account and a netacad.com account that uses the same email, which for most of us, we do that. So like when I log into Skills for All, I just use my NetAcad account. I don't have a separate Skills for All account and a separate netacad.com account. I have one account and I log in with it to both sites. They've got the same email associated with them. All of my history will be merged together in this new database. Okay. Now, where it's going to get really a little bit weird for you is if you accidentally created a Skills for All account, okay, and you also have a NetAcad account, and those 2 accounts do not have the same email address. Okay, if they have the same email address, you're perfectly fine. Okay, but if they don't have the same email address, those 2 accounts will not be merged. So you need, before February 22nd or on February 22nd at the latest, to change your netacad.com email to match your Skills for All email. If you do that, you're at the same level 3 here. You will get all of your information merged. I have no idea what the new database name is. I'll show you that in just a second. You'll go to the same sites. It'll just be a different login. Okay. Nothing's changing on the back end. Okay. This is just phase 1. Nothing's changing on the back end. Only your login is changing. Nothing else will change. Yep. Yep. At this time, if you've got a class on netacad.com, you will still go to netacad.com. You'll just get a different login look. Okay. And I'll show you that in just a second. Okay. The full merger is not occurring until July. This is just phase one where they're merging the database. Okay, so they can fix all these issues with the databases before they try to merge the content. Okay. So again, most of you won't need to do anything because your Skills for All account is your netacad.com account and the emails are the same. If they're not, however, look, change your netacad.com account to have the same email as your skillsforall.com. All right. Now, once the downtime occurs and you go to log in after the site comes back up during the day on February 23rd, you are immediately going to be prompted to change your password. Okay. The login experience, whether you go to type in netacad.com or skillsforall.com, is going to take you to the same page and it's going to look the same. And you're going to log in with your username password that you had set. All right. And it's going to say you need to change your password. Now you can skip this during phase one. So from now to July, if for some reason you don't want to change your password, yes, and by the way, this will now make all of your netacad and Skills for All accounts will not be associated with your cisco.com account. You'll still have cisco.com, totally different. Okay. But you can skip changing this password. It's just going to pester you incessantly until you do. Okay. Yep, and you can still use the same password if you want to. You know, you could change it and just change it to the same thing if you wanted to. Honestly, let's use this as a time to change our passwords inside of netacad. We probably, if you're like us and we haven't been forced to change it, some of us have used it for some while. I actually changed mine not too long ago because of some issues that looked like a breach or weren't a breach. But just be aware, it's not a bad idea to change your passwords at this point. But you don't have to. You will get this. You will get, whether you go to netacad.com or Skills for All, you'll get that page. And when you click log on, you're going to get something that looks like this. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you this is a mock-up, so it may not be exactly the same as this, but it's going to look something like this. Okay. You'll put in the email that is for your account. All right. And log in or click login, either one. So if you're going to log in, once you put in your email and click login, it will then prompt you for your password. You'll put in your old password. And then once you do that, it's going to say, hey, you need to change that password. Set up a new password. Now notice you can skip it. Skip for now. So if you're not ready to change your password for some reason, skip it. Okay. You will be pestered every time you log into netacad.com or Skills for All to change your password. And once we get to July and the full integration occurs, it will not be optional. You will either change your password or you will no longer log in. Okay, but that's July, not phase one. Phase one is in the end of February. All right, questions about this? I want this very clear for you. And you need to make your students aware of this, because if they want their two sets of information to be merged together, their Skills for All and their netacad.com need to have the same password. And it needs to be the Skills for All password, or not password, email. Whatever email you've set on Skills for All needs to be changed to the netacad if they have different email addresses. Okay. Questions? Okay. That's phase one. That's occurring on February 23rd. There may be phase 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 12. I don't know. Okay. We're hoping affect packet tracer. Yes, it should affect everything. Yep. Should affect packet tracer logon, should affect everything, because the databases will be different. There was a discussion about that, and I'm trying to remember exactly what was said about that. I'm pretty sure it will affect that.
Hey, Kelly.
Yeah.
So what they said was, because until they have a new packet tracer version,
Yeah.
it won't change. But if you click on either one, it's going to take you to the same place now.
Right.
Like it'll go to
Right.
one and it'll redirect to the other. But if they change the password, they will have to relog into packet tracer.
Yeah. If you change your password, you have to relog in. But they're not going to really do anything till they put out packet tracer 8 dot whatever, and that probably won't come out until they're getting closer to the full integration. So, but if you do change your password, you're going to have to put in that password into packet tracer. because it's gonna prompt you for it. Okay. Oh, no. Students never procrastinate. Now, you know what? We make fun of students. Y'all instructors procrastinate. What are you talking about? Come on. I only train instructors. I know how y'all are. Let's be honest. But no, but just be aware that is coming up. Now, there's one last thing I want to talk about. Now, this is important because it's been sent out as a instructor email inside of NetAcad already. And that is, I want to talk about what's moving over and what the future combined platform is. First off, we don't know exactly what it's going to look like. We have some guesses. I mean, it's going to look something like Skills for All and NetAcad, obviously. The big thing is when you look at the two systems, there were a huge number of classes in NetAcad and a much smaller number, obviously, inside of Skills for All. But they had to make a decision about what they were going to move over from netacad.com to the version in July. Now, be aware, this is not February. This is July. Okay. So we're giving you ample warning that if you use the Chinese version of CyberOps, it's not going to be in the new system. Okay. But all joking aside, here is this was sent out. This is actually inside. If you go in, log in to netacad.com, go under the instructor email or instructor updates. There was an update that listed how to get this spreadsheet. And these are the courses that will be available inside of netacad.com once convergence takes place in July. Now, this is only after the July convergence. Notice it's basically 7.2, most language versions of CCNA. We will see CyberOps Associate in multiple languages, DevNet, multiple languages, Intro to Cybersecurity, Intro to IoT. Notice not in English. That version is over actually in Skills for All. IT Essentials will be moving over, all versions that are available. And then some of the partner versions will be moving over with either remaining on existing curriculum content or being changed over to the new content. There are some End of Life courses, however, and you'll notice CCNA Cybersecurity Operations, which should have been End of Life because that certification doesn't exist anymore. Introduction to Networks version 6, 5, some of these old versions are out there. They're not moving over. Anything that was in pretty much in Russian's not moving over. Anything that's fairly old is not moving over. Okay. So notice again, most of these are pretty old. Okay, Introduction to Packet Tracer, that's already moved over to Skills for All. We're not going to see version 7.02 of IT Essentials. So in the summer, you will go to version 8 if you're teaching in English. There won't be an option. Okay, once the conversion takes place in July, the only version that will be available is 8.0, okay, of IT Essentials. And as we go on here, version 2.1 of Networking Essentials, because you'll go to version 3 and on down. Now, folks, we got a meeting coming up in a couple weeks. You will notice what is definitely missing here. Can anybody spot it quickly? David, you should spot it very quickly. CCNP is missing, correct. There's no information about CCNP. I have no word on what's happening to CCNP. It's not in this list. So I don't know. I'm going to say my guess is it's not moving over simply because it's not in the list. But I don't know. We're supposed to find out something in March about what's happening with CCNP. Okay. Just be aware, this is, again, only for once inside of the full switchover in July. Everything will continue to be available till July. And then they're basically going to get rid of some of the older versions. They're going to EOL those older versions. And again, we'll see what happens to CCNP. I don't know. I personally hope it doesn't go away because I teach it. And I think it's a great course to have for an upper level course. I know it's not used a great deal in the academy, but it is something that that I believe needs to be there to allow students to move forward if they want to, in some form or fashion. Whether we do it, if it does go away, I'm going to do something to figure out a way to teach it using some other materials. So we'll figure out a way to try to continue to teach it somehow to instructors if they want to take it. But that's this spreadsheet I want to make sure you're aware of was sent out via instructor news. Now, it is very important that you have inside of your profile on NetAcad set up so that you're getting information. Okay. Yep. And like Clint says in chat, everything is rumors. I have no clue. I have not privy to any information at all whatsoever. So I have absolutely zero clue what's going to happen with CCMP. Somebody knows, but it's not me. It's way above my pay grade. Okay. There is also one other thing I would like to, note both the notification skills for all. Let me stop this 1 second and pull up. Let me open up NetAcad and log in and show you where you should have yourself getting set up to receive information. So, and again, let me make sure I'm not giving away too much of my private information. Not that I really care. Here. So in your information, I mean, this is not like this is a big deal to know. Inside of your account, if you scroll down, make sure you're getting communications. I would like to receive communications, including information about functionality and learning offerings. Make sure that is checked. All right. If you don't have that checked, you're not receiving the emails. You also can check these folks by going up in, let me go to, I'm teaching here, so it won't be a big deal. All right, here's my I'm teaching tab. You can also go right here and go to news and events instructors. And you need to keep your eye on things going on here, because right here is prepare to change your password and where's it at? Course availability at Convergence. This is where I pulled that spreadsheet off of right here. And it takes you to course availability, and here's the English spreadsheet. And these are the curriculums that will be in the new user interface. Okay. These curriculums will continue to use the old interface. So by old, it'll look like netacad.com. And then some of these, they will ask you to transition to the newest versions, which are on Skills for All. So there will be no change to the ASC alignment requirements. So when you go to teach CCNA, you still have to be aligned with an academy sports center. Likewise, same for anything really that goes to a certification. All right. Now, folks, there's one other thing I would like to squash real quickly. If there are any rumors about my retirement, the earliest would take place would be January 1st of 2025. That is the absolute earliest. Now, unless they really tick me off. Okay. Now, granted, I got 28 years, so if they really tick me off, I can walk out the door tomorrow. So as long as they don't tick me off, the earliest I could retire or would retire would be January 1st, 2025. It is much more likely to be July of 2025 or even January of 2026. So be aware of that. If you have heard rumors of my imminent retirement, they're not true. Unless I win the lottery. If I win the lottery, I'm not even coming to clean my office out. I'm sending somebody to do it for me. Okay. I mean, I love everybody I work with. But I am not even coming to get the stuff out of my office. I'm sending somebody to do it. Okay. And that's even though I do love them. So
it's always Legos that have them.
Yeah. I got a lot of good junk in this office, but I'll send somebody to come pick it up if I win the lottery. But are there any questions on the 4 items we discussed today? So the 4 different items that we were talking about today: our yearly event, the exam project, Skills for All and NetAcad downtime, or the future combined program, combined platform.
Dr. Condell, I come in late. Can you shed light on the 4th item about the cost of the project? The
On
cost.
what, Jacob?
On the cost for the exam.
The CCST.
The
The CCST exam?
Yes.
Oh, well, the project that we've got going on, we are providing free exam vouchers and exam practice for your students. So we have a project where we are providing, if you want free exam vouchers and free practice tests for your students, we are providing that. You can go back and look. I will put Constance's email into the chat. You can send her an email and she'll send you the video. She'll send you the video on our project. But we started this back in November of last year. We bought 500 exam vouchers and 500 practice tests, and we are giving them away to our academies to give to their students. We are also, we want all of you as instructors to get certified too. The problem we have with that is we need to be there to kind of proctor you, because if you don't already have a proctor there you could use. So we could, we'll talk about that, but at our ASC event, we're going to proctor exams for anybody who wants to take the exam. So, if you come to our event and you want to take both exams, our goal is for you to walk out of our event that Tuesday with both your CCST networking and CCST cybersecurity. That would be our goal. We've got 500, right now we've got about 460 vouchers left, I think. I think about 40 or 45 been left. Yeah, Constance is going to go check. And folks, those do expire on November 1st. So we desperately want you to use these. If you got 30 students you want to use them for, we'll give you 30 of them. We got to get rid of them because we don't want them to not be used. To me, the worst possible thing would be for there to be even one voucher left on November 1st. We have 459 left, so we got a bunch. And that means we have probably 459 practice exams too. And the cool thing about the practice exams is each one of those, we probably don't have that many practice exams left, but each one of those actually allows your students to take either the CCST cybersecurity practice or networking, either one, 100 attempts at either one. So it's either 150 on networking, 50 on cybersecurity, or 60 on networking, 40 on, however they want to break up 100 attempts. They can do 100 attempts at those two.
Are a student going to be qualified, sir?
If your students take CCNA 1 and CCNA 2, they can definitely pass the CCST networking.
Okay.
Yeah. The cybersecurity, I would say they need to either take the CCST cybersecurity track inside of Skills for All, or if they have had a Security Plus class, they are very much going to be qualified to pass cybersecurity. Yep. I will tell you honestly, I think the cybersecurity and the networking classes or tests are harder for the people who have more experience than less. And I know that sounds crazy, but the more experience you have, the more you'll look at the question and go, but in this one case over here, when OSPF is running in this mode, that wouldn't be true. But you got to keep it, whenever you take this test, you got to think this is an entry-level certification, think entry-level. So it's set up for entry-level cert.
So it's going to be much of a cybersecurity in it on the CCNA 1 and CCNA 2.
Yes. Yep. That's true. Yep. So, other questions about any of the 4 items we brought up today?
I actually got the work. All right, I'll move my ear on. I actually got the workbook for CCST, and on the cover it said the Intro to Networking or Networking Essentials version 3, which so it's not the same as the Intro to Networking CCNA 1. It's the Networking Essentials that we were using for CTI 120. But from taking the test. From taking the test, it's much more like the CCE&T, like the ICND1, than it is for Networking Essentials. So heads up, anybody who gets the book and doesn't know any better. Yep.
That is why I suggest CCNA 1 and 2, because they have information on there about VLANs. So it's not enough just to have CCNA 1. If they don't know you really could do it after they just learn the VLAN information and the trunking information in CCNA 2. You could give them the test then. but you might as well finish up CCNA 2 and give it to them after that. So I agree with you, Kim. It is more like the ICND. It's not as hard as the ICND was, by no means, but it is, you do have to have that. You do have to have specific Cisco knowledge. You're going to look at Cisco configs, you're going to look at Cisco commands, and you need to know what they mean. So it is
Right.
Cisco.
It's just anybody who gets the book and doesn't know better, then it can be a little misleading.
Definitely.
Can I
And
add-
that's why
can
the
I
practice
add
tests are
something?
good. Go ahead.
So I'm a little bit under the weather, so never mind my congestion. But I chatted with Nancy, and I'm just gonna call her out. She'll be okay. I don't think she's here, so otherwise I just can't let her talk. But she had done the track, the CCST networking track in Skills for All, and it aligned really well. Her entire group did very well on that exam. So I don't know about the workbook because I haven't tried to look at the workbook. But as far as the content in Skills for All, it maps really, the stuff they have tracked for CCSE networking is mapping really well with.
Okay, good, because the Netacad one is not as nice as the Skills
It's-
for All. So if they're already
yeah, it's
using the Skills
outdated.
for All, I feel much more comfortable with it.
Yeah, it's out of date. So,
Yeah, it's
so
the
the,
one-
the
yeah, the
new
one on-
version, the current version is in Skills for All.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. If you run the track that's in Skills for All, they should be prepared. But if you're not teaching that, like I said, they're prepared after CCNA 1 and 2. They're definitely prepared after those two for networking, CCST networking, not cybersecurity. Okay. But thank you for letting us know about that, Kim, because I didn't know either. I don't have that book.
Yeah, it says version 3, so it might be the new version that they're reaching forward to in Skills for All, because I know there
Maybe.
is a jump.
Yeah.
The
that may-
Netacad is the old stuff, and the Skills for All is much nicer. It's much more in depth. It's got 38 modules, so they're really putting more into it. And the user interface is way nicer.
Yeah, especially on mobile devices, is much better. So works better on mobile. Okay, thank you for that. That's good to know. It's very good to know. Other questions?
You talk about the user's name and the password for the netcard and then the skill for all.
Mm-hmm.
So if I do have, but you made mention of it that because when I log in, like when I was doing the CCNA one, and then I only use one for all. Is
Right.
that one going to affect me?
Nope, you'll be fine. If you're using your netacad.com account to log into both sites, so in other words, when you go to Skills for All, you click on the Cisco Netacad button to log into Skills for All,
Mhm.
you're fine. You're logging in with the same email, same account, everything will be unified.
Okay.
Yep, you'll be fine. The only place people are going to get in trouble is if they've got a different email on their Skills for All account from their Netacad account, which really means they've got two separate accounts. So, and if that is true, again, the action needed is change your netacad.com account to match your Skills for All email. I hope most of you are not in that situation because you're probably using your Netacad login to go into Skills for All, because that was what we suggested for everybody. And as we get closer to account merger and as we get closer to the entire convergence, we'll have more meetings with you as we know more about what the system looks like. We'll share everything we can share with you. And again, as soon as all of you who have been in my CCNP classes, as soon as I know anything about CCNP, that will go out in a blast too. So I'll let you know. Any other questions? Okay, well, everyone, I truly hope to see you on March the 5th at Isothermal
Actually,
Community College. Oh, go ahead, Kim. Sorry.
I was wondering, I know that the CCNA stuff was the last part of things that they were migrating over. I haven't seen it yet in Skills for All for the whatever the third class is, the enterprise. Yeah. So it's the CCNA 3. Is that moved over yet so I can take a look at it in Skills for All?
No,
Okay.
none of the CCNA has moved to Skills for All yet.
Okay.
None. Introduction to networks, switching, routing, wireless essentials, enterprise network security automation. None of that has moved to Skills for All, and none of it will move until July.
Okay, good. Because I
None
looked in
of it
January
will
and I
move.
was not seeing it.
Yeah, it will not move until they combine the two systems. and then they're going to move it all together. So yeah, nothing will be, and I would probably, it's my guess, I haven't heard this, but I would doubt seriously any new curriculums will be released between now and convergence, because they probably lock down everything until till July, so that they don't have to mess with anything else. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I would, if I was doing a major convergence, I would have locked everything down and said, I'm not doing anymore.
Mhm.
David,
Weirdly
is-
enough, there's
ahead.
a CCNA Essentials 3-session pre-recorded webinar that I tripped over. So episode 1, CCNA Certification Networking Basics, 90 minutes. Episode 2, CCNA Getting Acquainted with IP Connectivity and Services, 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And episode 3, CCNA Building the Basics with Security Automation and Programmability, 60
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, that's I don't know who that is, but they may have just taken the content and did some lectures on it.
That's a Cisco thing. I'd signed up for it, but haven't just found it this week, so I haven't dug into it yet.
Okay. David, and I will tell everyone this, David has got a good point. He's scared for his SRWE, switching around and wireless essential classes this summer. I agree with you. I would be very scared to have anything due during that week. It's going to be in July. I would be quite honest with you. If you have an 8-week class and you can get the class done before the convergence, I'd get it done before the convergence. I'd get the majority of the work done before the convergence. And you know, I don't know when it's going to be, but I'm thinking probably late July. Yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to say the date we were given. I don't want to say, upfront on that, because I don't know if it's widely known, but I would just say that get most of it done early summer if you can. Okay, we're allowed to say it. So Constance, if you want to tell them, I can't remember what the date was. I forgot. I'll be honest. That's why I have type A people around. I'm not a type A person. Drives her nuts too. She can't stand it. But
Here's the thing. Regardless of what the date is, I would remain very flexible with it
Yes.
as we approach that date.
Yeah.
Because to be perfectly honest with you, the July timeframe that we're looking at right now has been pushed back a couple of times already.
Right. So it is a
I thought I put it
technology
on my
project.
calendar, but it's not there for some
Yeah.
reason.
Well, I just put it this way. It
Oh,
is
well.
late. It is late July. That's what I heard.
Right.
Yeah, around the 3rd week of July is what I heard. But again, this is a technology project, and I've never seen, I've been in the academy for 26 years, basically, since almost from the very beginning. I've never seen any convergence project go off without a hitch. Okay. Sorry. Just straight up. This is a massive program, folks. It's huge. You know, I'm glad I'm not the one running the back end on it, because I wouldn't want that responsibility. You know, you got 2 million students around the world. It is a massive program. So be flexible this summer. I think I would try to get as much as you can. Anything that absolutely requires netacad.com, try to get that done early in the summer before that 3rd week in July, because I know your finals kind of happen that 3rd week, 4th week of July as you go into August. Try to get that done, because I think you would be, yeah, again, it's global, not just US, it's massive. So try to do what you can to front load as much of the class as possible.
Kenny, how about the instructor training classes for the summer?
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do about that. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. We're probably gonna bite the bullet and still run them. See, we usually don't end around the 2nd or probably the 3rd week of August, the 2nd or 3rd
Yeah,
week of August.
I
So
just looked at it earlier. It was the
yeah,
second week of
so
August
even if,
last
you know,
year.
we start in June, we end 2nd week of August, if it totally blows up on us, I can always extend the dates on the instructor classes. So I'm confident with instructor classes that I can move it, because we don't start another set of instructor classes until September. So it gives me almost a month time to kind of wiggle in there. So yeah. And David, yes, definitely send Clint an email, because I've been fast tracking instructors from the Raleigh area, people who work for Cisco and are wanting instructors, or wanting to be instructors. So just contact him, and there's a couple people. There's actually one I know I just did that's from the ECU area, so he's not far from you at all, David. So. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Again, please, if you can make it to our meeting on the March 5th, please do so. We're all staying at the Hampton Inn there in, my team is in the Spindale area. What is it, Nightdale? I think we're actually in Nightdale. But if you're in that area, not Nightdale, no, that's a different area, I'm sorry. But it's in that, just look up Hampton Inn near Isothermal. It's the closest one. That's where our group's staying. So I'm hoping you can do that. Kim, the next CyberOps training will be starting in June and run June to August. That's our next CyberOps training for instructors. Yep. I don't have the exact dates yet, but
Okay.
probably in about
I
2
just-
weeks we'll have those
All
dates.
right.
Spindale, yeah, Spindale, not Nightdale.
Yeah. And so hopefully it won't be quite as much of a mess with the transition for CyberOps.
No, it should not be a problem at all with that.
Okay. That's why I'm glad I'm having the CCNA 3 now. So yay.
Yeah, we'll make that happen. It should not be a big problem.
Yeah, it should be
Hampton
late
Inn and
May,
Suites Forest
beginning.
City. I knew it was Forest something or spend night something. I don't know. Well, it's we're in
Oh,
Forest
is this
City.
the other one?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, we're staying at Hampton Inn and Suites in Forest City. That's where we're staying. All right.
Yeah,
everybody,
they're full right now though. Scott and I got the last rooms there.
All right, that's it. Okay, good. All right, I'm gonna stop the recording.